Welcome back, guys. My name is Jordan. I realize I don't say it very often, so hi, I'm Jordan. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Today, we're checking out the final installment of the Money Games trilogy by REN. I started my REN journey about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's been quite impressive. Very insightful, very relevant topics, definitely getting me to think about things that I'm very passionate about, in my personal life. And just the creativeness and his musical talents, just on the highest levels, I think. So just a quick thank you for anyone and everyone who has recommended REN, who has commented, who has shared their thoughts. Thank you so much. I do my best to go through all the comments. I at least read them all. I don't get a chance to respond to them all, but I really appreciate it, guys. How a lot of these connect with you, how much we agree on, not necessarily the issues, but the state that we're in and what direction we should be heading, which I think is together, not away from each other. But I'm excited to get into part 3. A lot of you said this is your favorite part. And kind of seeing the evolution from part 1 to part 2 of how it was almost the same song, but evolved, more precise, more, I guess maybe less distractions is a good way to put it. It was very concise, even more dense than the first one. So I'm curious to see if part 3 is going to follow the same musical structures, same chorus, or if he's going to switch it up. This one comes highly recommended, so we're going to get into it. Before we get into it, I just want to thank everyone who has taken a look at my Buy Me a Coffee page. You guys have really supported me. I really appreciate it. If you guys would like to support the channel, feel free to just hit the like button and subscribe. But if you want to do a little more, you could find the link to Buy Me a Coffee down in the description of this video. I do plan on posting videos on there specifically just for that platform, just for the supporters. So if you're interested, take a look. It's not necessary, and obviously not required, but highly appreciated. All right, this is REN, Money Games Part 3. Interesting start. Taking me back to the first part a little bit. Oh, wow. I wonder if it's just a piano. Wow. That camera work was crazy. And the reflection on the piano, too. Is that REN? Yeah.
Tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents pay for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22,
Okay. Damn, I was waiting for a break in that, but man, so much to touch on. What an interesting way to tell the story that we all come to learn about money and its importance and the power that comes with it. So how he's kind of told this story of this child who's born and taught that money is the goal of everything. And once you achieve it, and that's such a crazy thing to say, but it's true. I hate to say it's true, and I don't want it to be true. But the world doesn't care. You know, and it's so easy to believe and fall into that mindset that you should take all that you can because it doesn't care, instead of trying to think of how we can get the world to care. And it's such a juxtaposition of wanting the best for the world and wanting the best for you or your loved ones, and then throwing money in that equation. It completely turns everything on its head. It makes everything just insanely illogical. And so this kid who's incredibly talented, smart, driven by what? It seems to be what his dad has been telling him, which is money and power, and you have to be a man. And that's what makes you a man. It's so chaotic. It's such a horrible way to grow up viewing the world. And some would argue that it's better to know the truth. And I guess I would argue that this dad thinks that I'm not going to lie to my son. I want to prepare him for the world that his dad grew up in and knows well and has been obviously beaten down by. Let's go back a little bit. This is good. This is really good.
18 and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns that truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket.
Wow, just the birth of corruption and the need for more.
35, he gets the call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack. I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion. Heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck.
Fuck. What a display of the fakeness of money, you know? We learn to believe that money is the ultimate power, but you can't stop things like that, you know? It could help, but when you spend your whole life worshiping and chasing this one thing and something like that happens, you lose someone or you lose a parent, a sibling, anything, a friend, you start to realize all this power that you've amassed does nothing. It does nothing. And clearly you see him spiral down, even though he has all this power and wealth and happiness. It goes to show, and we all know that this is true. Money does not buy happiness, especially when you are in such a dark place. It's so much easier to dig a deeper hole when you have that kind of money. Bury yourself in substances, illicit activities, you know, just all these things to try and numb or bury the pain. And all of this stemming from money, the idea of capitalism, fucking nonstop profit at the cost of anyone and everyone. Oh, wow.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41 he wasn't walking, 42
regret.
not walking quickly, 43 never running round the pavements of his city, 44 inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Cut the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution?
This shit got me thinking, man.
Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But
Yes.
if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd, if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and consume till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
I'm trying. I'm trying to understand why that got me like that. I'm angry. I'm angry at the lies that we were told. I'm angry. I'm angry at the world that we live in, what we've let it become, that we let people suffer and waste their lives on this pursuit to end up like that, like Jimmy. And that's, the majority of us don't even reach that kind of wealth. A very small minority actually do. And they still suffer because of it. And this is Ghostface. He tends to sense when I'm feeling a type of way. Ow. I love the variations and the evolution of the tracks. I love the messaging. I love the messaging. And I think it really got me like that because just where we are right now in the world, as I mentioned in my last video, and a lot of you agree, in the comments. Definitely puts a smile on my face. He wants the warmth of my laptop. And his mention of, his dad and the words that kind of he lived by, and his realization at the end that, that chase that he lived for was not it. And not that I've ever had that level of success, but I have been in a position where I've lost what I had built. And part of that journey was realizing that, I've lived with ADHD undiagnosed my entire life. And my perspective was always different from other people. And not that they didn't agree with me, but I don't know, just that empathy or whatever you want to call it. But true story, it's gotten so bad and I could feel it and it just affects me. It's gotten so bad that, the other night I saw like a big ant and I tried to just, it was in the sink. So I tried to like just wash it down the drain. And I immediately felt bad and that I shut off the water and he climbed out and the ant just started cleaning itself and I just stared at it and I felt horrible. That's not normal. I don't think that's a normal level of empathy. And I haven't always been that way. And I don't know what to do about that because I'm not in control of those emotions. I don't know why, but if any of you have that level of empathy, please let me know. I'm very curious. Yeah, I'm all over the place. This thing got me. Fantastic, fantastic trilogy. I'm gonna sit down with my brother. My brother is very shy. A lot of you had mentioned that, you'd like to hear his commentary. I'm working on it. I'm trying to chip away at him. So if you're watching this, man, think about it. Think about it. All right, guys. This is a rough one. I think I need to go for a walk or maybe eat something. I haven't eaten. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps me out. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss our future videos. After this, I think we're going to dive into REN's band, the reggae band. I'm very curious to dive into that. So let me know what we should check out next, what we should check out in the future. If there's any new artists that we should dive into, please drop them in the comments. Let me know where we should get started. Thank you guys again. Please take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And I'll see you next time. Peace.